We tip things off with local hoops as Coach Chot Reyes has spoken. And he has asked the Samahang Basketball ng Pilipinas to exclude his name in the search for the next head coach of the national basketball team. In a Twitter post, Reyes says it is now time for him to hand over the task of leading Gilas Pilipinas through its next international competitions. Reyes, who coached Gilas for the second time in 2012, led the national team to a runner-up finish in the 2013 FIBA Asia Championship, a bronze place finish in the 2014 FIBA Asia Cup, a win in the group stage of the FIBA World Cup against Senegal, and a 7th place finish in the men's basketball tournament in the 17th Asian Games in Incheon, South Korea. On the line, we have Coach Chot Reyes. Good evening, Coach. Welcome back to Sports Desk.
Good evening, Jinno. Good evening, Cesca.
I guess, Coach, the very first question is, what was the deciding factor, what was the thought process for you in finally taking your name off the list of the possible coaches that the SBP will be choosing from, the selection committee?
Well, first of all, I don't think it was any secret that right upon our arrival from Incheon, I already manifested that desire to Mr. Pangilinan, to FPP. But, he said that let's cool things down. It was too fresh yet then. He says, let's cool things down and then let's see how you feel and let's talk about things. So, after couple weeks, 3 weeks already, and everything that's been happening, together with my family and my wife Terry, we decided that, I think it was best for everyone concerned to take my name off the list. Anyway, I've served the country for 2 years already. It's time to do other things.
Well, Coach, again, I'm sure this wasn't an easy decision to make, but of course, this is a very storied journey. This is something that people will be talking about when it comes to basketball history in the Philippines. What was the general reaction that you got from your wife, from your kids, from your players?
The players especially, yeah.
Yeah, well, all throughout, there were some news reports that came out last week that I think were blown out of proportion. But since then, the players already were calling me, texting me. I got it together with Jimmy, Ranidel, Gabe has been texting, my Gilas, my cadet boys, Roster, Garpolanete, Kevin Alas have been in touch, JD, almost everyone has called to, and even non-Gilas players, like Chot Reyes, Harvey Carey, Kelly Williams, they've all been calling to profess their support for me and that that they wish me well. So it's been a continuing communication between me and the players. So of course the first guy to call me when I made the announcement was Jimmy, and how he thinks he doesn't agree that it's the right thing to do. He wants me to continue the program, but I explained to him my reasons, and he understood. I've gotten together with Tab. In fact, Tab was here yesterday. We had lunch. We constantly talk. Got together with John, with Chico. Nacho Lascano has called me from Spain. So it's been constant communication all around, and in the end, they all respect and understand why I did things. And it's basically because, even if, for example, my name gets picked or if I'm chosen again, for example, I want to stress, I know it might be a long shot, but if in case I get picked again, it's not going to change things. There's still going to be some difficulties and roadblocks. And, I don't want to be that divisive factor in Philippine basketball. I want what's best for Philippine basketball, and I thought stepping back was the best option for everyone concerned.
Coach, you mentioned a few names already. First Tab, and then also you mentioned Coach Jong. Who do you think? I mean, I know it's very early. I know you don't want to be a little bit of a part of it, but who are the type of coaches would be on this list that the selection committee will be choosing from?
Well, obviously, for any program, continuity is important. Those who have been in the program, I think, have the best chance of succeeding. But that's not to discount those who have also had experience here, like Coach Yang Yao and Coach Tim. But both of them have told me that they would not rather be part of it. Coach Tim and I have been talking a lot, and he feels strongly that I should continue. I feel strongly that he should be considered, and so on and so forth. But we are all of the agreement that continuity is important. So, if the search committee puts the same value in it, then that's the way it's going to go. But if not, they may want to go an entirely new, different direction. That's a possibility as well. So it's hard to predict. And you're right, I don't want to preempt the search committee. They're all very knowledgeable in basketball. So they're going to make the right decision. And that's the reason why I decided to take my name out, so that they can really, truly make their deliberations without thinking of, who was the previous coach, what did we do in the past, and so on and so forth. They can just make their decision from a really clean slate.
Well, Coach, considering everything that's happened in the past couple of years, Philippine basketball wouldn't be where it is today without you. So we do have to ask, what's next for Coach Chot Reyes?
Well, as you know, I've been, aside from running Sports 5, I have also been recently appointed to head the new division in TV5, the digital division, Digital 5. And that's really a big growth area for the company, and that's a huge added responsibility on my part. So I'm going to be focusing on those twin responsibilities now full time, and that means there's going to be a lot on my plate. So that's really what I'm going to be focusing on. And I continue my advocacies. Last week I gave a talk to the National Basketball Training Center, the Coaches Convention. There was almost 1,000 coaches there. My advocacy is continuing to uplift local coaching. So I'll be going to provinces to give clinics and talk to coaches, and also youth. I attended the opening of the high school, the PSSBC championships last Saturday, because I believe in those things. Those are really my advocacies, local coaching, especially in the provinces, and also youth. I think that's very important. And that was an integral part of the past Gilas program. If you will notice, in our program, we had the elite team, which was Gilas, we had the cadet team, which was Sinag, and then we had the youth team, which was Batang Gilas. We had coaches in place who were running essentially the same system, the same offense. Coach Jamai, Coach Jong, all the way up to the elite Gilas team. That was the program, because I think that's important for basketball to really prosper. And so I'll continue to dabble in those things, but truly most of my focus and time now is going to be spent on sports and digital finance.
All right. Well, Coach Chot, thank you very much. I know on behalf of Cesca, myself, everybody here in Sports Desk, and I'm sure a lot of Filipinos, we just want to thank you. Thank you for being part of this movement of Gilas Pilipinas, of being part of this team that not just made it to the World Cup, but also kept that dream alive for the young Filipinos out there growing up, and to wish and to aim not just to play in the PBA, but to play for the Philippines as well.
Yeah, I think in the end, if there's one thing I can be proud of, number one, it's my players. How much they put in, and I think how much I've seen them grow from 2 years ago when we started. That gives me a lot of satisfaction. And also, you're right. Now we have our kids dreaming to wear the Gilas jersey, and I think I hope that's one of the one part of the legacy that we can leave behind. But thanks to the two of you there, thanks to all the supporters, all the unnamed and quiet supporters we have online, on social media, on Twitter, everyone who's been giving their messages of support and thanks. There is absolutely no bitterness or rancor in my heart. I am very much at peace with my decision, and I understand this industry. And all good things must come to an end. It is time to move on.
Thank you so much, Coach.
All right.
Thank you. Good night.
Thanks, Coach.